Hey Wildcats, welcome back to Wildcat World. This is our third episode following the new show on Disney, Hawkeye, and we're going to be covering the third episode of that show and the third episode of this show. So let's get right into it.
So to start this off with, last two episodes, what were your thoughts on those?
Well, I mean, I like them. I'm really easy to please because I don't care that much about, no offense, Hawkeye's story. But I mean, they're entertaining at the very least. I like them.
Yeah, I'd have to say that so far the story is progressing pretty well, though Clint is being himself as usual.
Yeah.
Okay, so you watched the new one, right? What are your thoughts on this one?
I think I'd rate it a good 7.
Good 7?
It was pretty good. I liked the car chase scene specifically. That was probably the best part.
I did not even realize, because I follow the MCU universe, but I never really, follow it. I did not realize that there was trick arrows. That was so cool.
He has a lot, and I'm not even sure, because apparently none of them are marked in any way.
They're not, and I'm wondering what the 4 arrows that he took out when Kate had grabbed the arrows, and he's like, nope, not this one, nope, not that one.
She pulled out an explosive one, and he let her use that, but not those other 4.
What is in the other 4?
What are those?
That is probably the most intriguing thought. But in the last episode, Kate had mentioned that Jack was not telling the truth. Do you think in this episode we were going to find out?
Who's Jack?
You don't know Jack? Okay, so in the first episode, the mom of Kate, I don't know her name, is getting married to somebody. Somebody sketchy. His name is Jack. Jack and Kate do not like each other. In the last episode, they were I don't know what the term is for it. It's when they wear the white bodysuit. Fencing. They were fencing.
Oh, yeah.
And Jack was letting her win. Well, Kate tried to stab him in the face, and he parried like a pro. And she's just like, okay, he's not telling the truth. He's lying about something.
Yeah.
But Jack is kind of, I guess, would be the antagonist of some of her story. Not the whole story
of her,
itself.
small little side story.
Yeah. And Clint's would be Maya. Do you know who Maya is?
She's the gang leader, right?
Yes. High five to that, because I had...
Which, episode 3 started out with her backstory, of course.
Yes. It's really cool that she's not only deaf, but she only has, one real leg.
Yeah, and then one prosthetic from the knee down.
But she is, Kung Fu genius. She's terrifying. Did you know she's deaf in real life?
Her actor is?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The person herself is deaf, and I think that's so cool. And a little birdie just told me that Clint, not we, us as Marvel fans, but Clint on set learned ASL so that way when she came on set and stuff, he could talk to her. And I'm sure
learned sign language. Wow.
I'm sure they had an interpreter for her, but to kind of be an outstanding person, to have somebody even bigger than you be like, hey, it's okay, kid.
And
we can talk.
Yeah, just being able to talk specifically to them, not having to talk to an interpreter and then to her.
But did you get to the part to where it's Maya and her sidekick, Kazi? Don't remember his name for sure. I know it starts with a K and ends with an I.
Maybe. And what else happened?
Okay, so in the story, in the episode, the sidekick, I'm going to call him Mr. K because I can't remember his name. Mr. K has decided to step up and be like, look, the fight that we had with the chick and the dude over here is not going to cut it. Yeah. And, he was comparing her to her father. And I'm assuming they're related because she mentioned their uncle. She goes, our uncle would be mad. Yes, she goes, our uncle would be mad. And then she's just like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm in charge. So, blah, blah, blah. They're arguing back and forth in complete sign language. Yeah. Which I thought was the coolest because I didn't think that, because I talk with my hands, really badly. But to see somebody arguing in sign language, it's really interesting because they're I'm not going to mimic it, but...
Yeah, it's very intense.
It really is. I was just like, oh, You can hear the slaps of the hands. But the further you go in, the more you can see that Maya is not more of a villain, but like I said, more of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
She wants to just find out who killed her father. But, you know, we all know it was Ronan from the first episode. I hope that eventually Clint will own up to telling her, look, I killed your father. Probably not, but...
It'll probably be at the end. You know, we can
maybe
only hope.
deathbed wish?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think they kill
Hopefully.
him. I don't
Because, you
think
know,
they
everybody
kill
gets
him off.
closure at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your favorite part of this episode?
Like I said, the car chase scene was really cool, but I also really like that one scene where one of the gang members goes up to her and like asks for dating advice.
Oh, yes! I thought that was so sweet because she's sitting there like trying to help him, and he's complaining that that he got tickets to Imagine Dragons and his girlfriend wants to take her sister, and he's like, but I want to go.
She doesn't like Imagine Dragons.
She
I
doesn't-
like Imagine Dragons.
So there's no point. But I'm a little confused as to why the sudden attitude change flipped. Because right after that conversation, he kind of got aggressive towards Kate and Clint. But I'm assuming it's because Maya was appearing. And, you know, everybody wants to act tough and bold in front of their leader.
Yeah, this is like, oh, I wasn't just talking to her about something random. I was interrogating her, yeah.
I wasn't asking her for relationship advice. I'm above that. Okay, so did you watch the end of the episode?
I never got there.
Okay, so I'm going to spoil it for you. You can always go back there because it's always better to see it in person rather than hear it from somebody. So in the end episode, Kate has come up with an idea to get information on everybody that she's been looking for. So Clint's going to look up Maya. Kate's going to look up Jack. Well, her mom owns a security company that has almost all of those people's files. I'm not 100% sure if they have it, but she's like, yeah, my mom should have the files in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they would, but I mean, for story's sake, yeah.
How would they get that?
Yeah, if it's like a security company, like,
Mouse swab? DNA testing?
maybe, but why would they just have random people?
I know. Like, here, sir, can I swab
not
your
the
mouth
government.
real quick? What if they do work for the government?
Well, then it wouldn't be a company.
Yeah, more or less.
It'd be more of an organization.
There's a difference.
I think so.
Okay, sorry, I just rabbit holed for a second. But okay, so they had to break into her mom's penthouse, and by break in I mean pretty much, I'm pretty sure Kate just had a key. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah. We're in, and she brings her dog, of course, because her dog was locked up all day. And they're going through these files, and there's a noise down the hall. That's the first thing I picked up, was that there was shuffling behind something.
But they didn't notice it?
Clint did.
Oh.
Like, he looked up at first and then kind of looked around and then was like, huh, it's continuing. Turns out it's Jack, which is the mom's fiance.
Why was he there?
I don't know. That's where the episode ended, and I was mad because all you see is him holding the knife to his throat. Well, not the knife, the sword to his throat. And it's like, what are you doing here? And then it cuts off. So I'm like, are we finna have a tumble? Are they gonna get along? Like, another episode needs to hurry up and drop so I can get it finished.
Yeah, I guess we'll see in the next episode.
Hopefully.
Speaking of Clint hearing things, whenever he got his hearing aid knocked out.
I did not realize his hearing was that bad.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought that.
Imagine.
Oh, yeah, and I never realized Clint wore an earpiece. Like, when it fell out, I thought it was more of a, earpiece to talk into. No.
It was a hearing aid.
Maya even told him in one of the scenes that he needed to just take it out. And I think it maybe would be better if he learned ASL and took the hearing aid out, but at the same time, not everybody can just pick up ASL.
Or he could just learn it in case he ever loses hearing aid.
Yeah,
in some way.
His see more. And, I just really enjoyed the episode through and through. It was pretty good. So, are you going to go home and finish the last one?
4? Did they release 4?
No, 3, all the way through.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to finish 3 eventually. I just haven't really because I haven't had time, but I really want to.
Well, speaking of time, guys, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for tuning into our talk show, and hope to see you for episode 4.
See ya.